We'll begin coming into our seat, finding a comfortable seat where we can really land here in this moment. Begin to use the breath as an anchor to help us come into this moment and let go of the day thus far and let go of any to-dos for later and allow ourselves to take this time and to be here now. As we begin to breathe, begin to lift up through the crown of the head and feel a little bit taller. Allow the collarbones to unfurl and lift slightly. And inhale the right arm up. Bring it overhead and then use it to just guide the right ear over to the right shoulder. You can take the left hand out to the side or leave it on your knee, depending on how it feels to stretch this morning, today. Maybe you reach the left hand out a little bit longer, deepening through the stretch. Or just keep it down at the knee. We'll take a couple of breaths here. Notice how you're sitting on your sit bones, the weight. Working to maintain equal weight on both sides. Inhale back to center, float the right hand down. Take another breath. With your next inhale, reach the left arm up, overhead. Reach for the sky for a moment, then bring it around to the right ear and allow it to guide the left ear down to the left shoulder gently. Options for the right hand to reach out long or stay by your side. Take a few breaths on this side, observing any sensations going on here. Inhale to bring you back to center. Exhale to float that hand down. We'll swap legs now. Switching which leg is in front. As we work towards a twist, we'll inhale a little bit taller and exhale, twist to the right. Bring the left hand to the right knee. And pressing down through the right hand to lift you a little bit taller. With every inhale, reaching the crown of the head a little bit higher. Every exhale, deepening just gently into the twist. Take a few more breaths. Keeping the head in line with the spine, head over heart. Exhale brings you back to center. Take a moment here, wiggle and jiggle it out. With your next inhale, get tall, get long first. Ears lined up over the shoulders, dipping the chin. And exhale, twist over towards the left. If the chin wants to jut out again a little bit here, let's kind of tuck it in a little bit, keeping it parallel to the earth. A few breaths on this side. Focusing on the movement coming from the torso. With your exhale, guide yourself back to center. Wiggle and jiggle, roll out through the shoulders, one way, then the other. Maybe roll through the head and neck. And slide the hands back behind you, fingertips facing you, position towards your bum, and then just gently begin to walk them back. When you reach a good place, we'll lift up through the sternum, pull the shoulder blades together, and either pause here or gently allow the head to move back. Moving it softly and gently without jerking or flopping it back. Take a few breaths here to lift up through the heart space. Open up through the shoulders. As you breathe in, feel the energy from the earth rising up through the tailbone, all the way up to the crown of the head. As you exhale, begin to walk your hands back and come back to seated. And take another breath here, feeling the energy rise up and float in a little bubble surrounding you. And gently make your way to all fours. Line up shoulders over wrists, hips over the knees, getting into our cat-cow flow. On your inhale, allow the navel to tilt towards the knees and pull the shoulder blades together. Exhale, tilt, tuck through the pelvis first, round through the spine, dip the chin in deeply. A few more. Inhale, draws your shoulder blades together, pulling with the hands towards you. Exhale, press into the ground as you arch through the back. Press down into the tops of the feet. Inhale, tilting through the pelvis, lifting the ears away from the shoulders. Exhale, deeply rounding through the whole spine. Active hands, active through the feet. Tops of the feet pressing down. And come back to center. Engage through the navel so you can feel it lifting up and in. Widening through the shoulder blades, sending energy out through each shoulder like you're shooting little arrows left and right. Then inhale and reach up through the right fingertips and take the left foot back long, pressing out through the heel. Dialing those pinky toes straight down towards the earth. And pause here for a moment. And then as you exhale, draw the elbow to the knee, round through the spine, just like in our cat pose. Inhale, reach the arm and leg out long. Exhale, rounding elbow to knee. Inhale, reaching out, energy shooting through the fingers and the heel. And one more time, rounding through the spine. And then lengthening and reaching out long. And bring it back to center. Take a moment here, maybe rock through the hips or rotate through the wrists. And come back to center and press down into the index finger and thumb. And feel your core rising up to meet your spine. With your next inhale, reach the left fingertips out long and then the right foot out long. Pressing out through that back foot, dialing the toes down and lifting up out of that right shoulder. As you exhale, draw the elbow to the knee again, rounding through the spine. Inhale, reaching out long. Exhale, rounding through, making a little ball of energy. Inhale, reaching long. One more time. Inhale, round elbow to knee. And exhale, reaching out long for a moment. Hugging up, lifting out of the right shoulder. And then coming back. And take a few tick-tocks through the hips. And then flip the wrists, the fingertips, take them back towards the knees for just a few breaths here. I'm getting a little stretch for the wrists. Maybe bring the knees up a little bit more forward, depending on how this feels on your wrists. Find a comfortable wrist stretch. And then release the fingers back forward. And take a moment to lift one up and rotate. And then through the other. And once you're satisfied and with your wrists, we'll tuck the toes, lift the hips high and back. Find our down dog. We'll pedal out through the feet for our first down dog, pressing one heel down and then the other. Beginning to warm up through the calves and through the tissues of the feet. Spread the toes out wide as you pedal. Then bring it to stillness. Lift up through the base of the sit bones. Lift them a little bit higher. And melt the heart towards the knees. And then begin to dip the hips over towards the right. Just a little bit, maybe a few inches. Feeling the stretch all along the left side. Then slide the hips back to center and dip the hips over towards the left. Pressing into the right hand to feel that stretch all along the right side body. And then walk them back to center, shift them back to center. And walk the feet up to meet the hands, pressing into the heel with every step. Find your forward fold. Drop the head, drop the shoulders. Shake it a little loose, sway a little side to side, bring a little movement into your fold. And keeping the navel lifting energetically, actively. Notice how that affects the low back. Inhale, draw up to a half lift, sliding the hands either to the shins or to the thighs. Find that long, flat back. Take another breath. Exhale, slide the hands all the way back down. Inhale, reach for the sky. Grab a ball of energy through your fingers. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Pull that energy all the way down. Mountain pose, hands to heart. Take another breath. Inhale, reach for the sky. Catch a wave and exhale, float it all the way back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Draw the elbows to the side body. Exhale, forward fold. We'll plant the palms, send the left foot back, come down to the left knee, our low lunge. Find right knee over right ankle. Maybe sliding that right foot forward. Inhale, lift up and reach up. Slide the right hip back in space. Exhale, float it back down. Frame the right foot. Tuck the toes, left toes, slide the right foot back. Plank pose. Lifting up from the back of the heart. Feel the back of the heart begin to lift and reach towards the sky. And then bend the elbows and slowly lower all the way down to the belly, pressing into all 10 knuckles. Inhale, lift up baby cobra. Sending the elbows back and down. Exhale, float back down, tuck the toes. Press up through all fours or straight to plank, then downward facing dog. Take a breath. Notice how your down dog feels. And slide the left foot forward. Inch the left ankle up under the left knee, bring the right knee down. And as you're ready, inhale and sweep the arms up. Slide the left hip back. Let the shoulders fall down comfortably away from the ears. Exhale, float the hands back down, frame the left foot, lift up through the right toes, slide the left foot back. We find our plank pose. Hugging the navel up and in, rounding slightly through the back. And then send the elbows back as we slowly lower all the way down again. Land. Inhale, lift up cobra. Exhale, float it back down. Tuck the toes. Press up through all fours or straight to plank. Then lift the hips high and back. Downward facing dog. Rotating the shoulders outward, elbow creases shining towards the index fingers. And take the feet out a little wider. Let's widen our down dog and take the hands a little bit wider. Maybe the edges of the fingertips even off the mat. And then lift up through the sit bones a little bit more. Tilting through the pelvis like you're drawing the navel to point down towards the knees. Then take the right hand, reach over for the left shin or thigh, a little twist in the down dog, and then bring that hand back. And then the other side, bring the left hand to cross over to touch the right thigh or shin, and then bring it back. And walk the feet up here to meet the hands. Find our forward fold again. Maybe grasping opposite elbows, opening up through the shoulders, the back space between the shoulder blades. Or hands interlaced behind the head, tractioning through the neck. Take a few breaths. Find what you need. Engaging through the abs. Keeping them pulling up. And let the hands float down. And then slowly roll up this time. Almost vertebrae by vertebra. Starting with the low back, rounding as you lift. Bringing the head up last. Roll the shoulders up and back. Find your mountain pose. Head over heart, heart over pelvis. Sliding the ears to rest in space over the shoulders. As you inhale, reach up through the hands. And then cross the right arm leg over the left leg. And bend over towards the left. Getting in a deep stretch for the right side body. Take a breath here. Inhale brings you back to center. Exhale, unwind, float the hands down. Take a moment to shimmy it out a little. Then come back to your mountain pose. Feeling big toe mound, pinky toe mound, and the heel pressing down. And the crown of the head reaching up towards the sky. Rooting down through the feet. to lift up energy from the ground. And pulling the crown up to connect to the sky. With your next inhale, reach up. Interlace the fingers again. Wrap the left leg to cross over the right. And then tipping over towards the right. Pressing down into that left foot even as it is crossed over. Deepening the side body stretch here. If the head is wanting to jut forward, compensate for the shoulders. See if you can bring the head back in line with the spine. Ears still over the shoulders. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, unwind, float the fingers down. And shimmy and shake it out a little. And swim the hands back behind you. Interlace the fingers, making a fist. And nestle the fist into your right hip. And take the left ear over to the left shoulder. We can either stay here or you can begin to make little baby circles on this side, like half moons, taking the nose down and then up towards the left corner of your ceiling. Working into this side of the neck. Feeling into any grippy parts, any sticky parts. Come back to center. Switch the palms. Bring your fists over to nestle into the left hip. And drop the right ear to the right shoulder. We'll begin to work into this side. Gentle little, very slow massage-like movements. And draw the tailbone down. Like if you have a pencil attached to your low back. It could touch and write on the ground. Bring the head back to center, release the hands, and shake everything out a little bit, rolling, moving, shimmying. And then we'll find our mountain pose again. Lift the toes a little bit and then press all 10 toes down. Inhale, lift up, reach up, look up. Exhale, send it all the way down back to our forward fold. Drop the head, shake it loose. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the palms, send one foot back, then the other foot back. Send the hips up high, downward facing dog. Ground into the left foot, lift up through the right foot, a three-legged dog. Dialing those pinky toes straight down, lining up the hips. Then bring the right foot back, down and all the way through towards the hands. Coming back into a lunge position, the right knee over the right ankle. Then widen the left foot and plant that left heel down, setting up for warrior one. As you inhale, reach up and lift up. Exhale, swim the arms back behind you, palms up, and tilt forward, keeping that long, flat back. Hugging up through the abdomen and keeping the ears in line with the shoulders. Pulling the back of the neck towards the ceiling. And then checking in with the knee. Sending it forward over the ankle. And pressing both feet away from each other. very dynamic, very active. And then pull the shoulder blades towards one another. Feeling maybe even a little shake, a little energy, a little quiver here. As you exhale, bring the hand back down to frame that right foot. And pivot on the back foot, coming into a lunge for just a moment. Slide the right hip back. Notice what changes. And then press back into that left heel again. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, opening up towards the left. Finding a warrior two. And straighten the right knee. Reach forward with the right hand and then drop it down to the right shin. Lift up through the left hand, our triangle pose. We'll lift that left hand straight up first, lifting through the left side body. And then like a little rainbow, we'll draw a little arch with that left hand to bring it over the left ear. Lift up through the right arm for a moment, like you're holding a big beach ball between your hands. Active through the side body, through the abs. And then take that beach ball, tilt your whole body to look down towards that right foot. Exhale, bring the hands back down or to a couple of blocks here. Take the right foot out a little wider and slide the left foot up a little. We find our pyramid pose. Slide the right hip back. And then as we inhale, flatten through the back. Maybe bringing the hands to the shin or to a couple of blocks. Find that flat back feeling in your pyramid. As you exhale, round forward towards the right knee. Drop the head, drop the shoulders. Inhale, lift up halfway. Finding that flat back, abs reaching towards the spine. Exhale, round forward. One more time here to inhale to flat back. Long through the back of the neck. Exhale, rounding forward. Then walk the hands over towards that left foot, shifting to center. And we find a wide-legged forward fold. And drop the head for a moment. Shake the head loose. Send the weight into the heels. And lift up through those sit bones again. That same feeling that we have during our down dog, where you can feel the strength and the length through the backs of the legs. Then walk the hands over towards that left foot. Shifting over to face the left foot, sliding the left foot over. Then take the right foot out wide to the side, still in our 45-degree angle. Bending through the left foot, then pivot on the right foot. So you're up on your right toes now. Maybe sliding it back a little bit. Finding a high lunge for a breath. And send the left hip back. Let it just slide back like sliding doors. Plant the right heel down. Inhale, lift up to find our warrior one. Exhale, sweep the arms back, flat back, tilting forward. Back to our airplane warrior one on this side. Ears up over the shoulders. Shoulder blades draw together. Your core is engaged and lifting up high. Press the feet back away from each other like you're going to energetically rip your mat apart right there in the center. And then inhale, sweep the arms back up overhead, and then right arm back, twisting open, Warrior two for just a moment, shifting the hips towards the right. So drawing this hip back towards the right heel. And then straighten through the right knee. Reach to the left and drop the left hand down. Reach the right arm up, our triangle pose on this side. We'll pause here in triangle. We're reaching straight up, pulling that left shoulder back in space. And then begin to arch, drawing that arch with that right hand to come over the ear. And lifting up the left hand, holding through your center, building up strength and energy through your core. As you lift up here, slight bend in the left knee, keep it from locking out. And then exhale to twist over with your beach ball, look down towards that left foot. And bring the hands down to the shin or to some blocks. We'll set up for our pyramid on this side. And slide the right foot up a little bit so that you can come to a little bit straighter left knee. So whatever width helps you to straighten through that left knee. And then as you inhale, inhale to a flat back. So lifting up through the shoulder blades. And exhale, rounding over the left. Inhale, lift up, flat back, halfway lift. Coming from center. Exhale, rounding over. Last time, inhale, lift up to a flat back, ears lined up with the shoulders, shoulders with the hips. Exhale, float it back down. And slide the right foot up to meet the left. Back to a forward fold. Inhale, lift all the way up, reach for the sky. Exhale, press the air away, clawing through the fingertips, cleaning out your energy bubble. And roll the shoulders up and back. Shimmy and shake it out. Rotate through the ankles here. Pedal through the feet. And then come to our mountain pose. As your energy begins to settle, feel yourself begin to root back down and draw energy up through the feet. And grounding into the left foot. We'll inhale to bring the right knee straight up in front of you. And find a little balance here. You can play with maybe shooting that right foot straight out in front of you to a standing staff pose. Keep the knee bent. And then as you're ready, bring it down and shake it out. Again, rotating and pedaling anything that needs to pedal and rotate. And bringing it all back. Feeling yourself come back to a strong center, strongly anchored and building energy. Breathe into the navel and exhale through the navel energetically. As you inhale, we'll ground down into the right and lift up through the left knee straight up in front of you again. Lifting up through the collarbones, through your navel center. And we'll play here with a little balance. Maybe keeping the hands down or pressing the palms together for a little extra stability. Maybe straightening through that left leg. Imagine a string that ties you from your heel to the crown of the head and lifts you a little bit taller. And then exhale, bring it all down. Shake it all we'll find a mountain pose once more. And take a breath here, letting the shoulders glide down the back. Letting them comfortably rest. Inhale, reach up and lift up. Exhale, float it all the way down, back to our forward fold. Shake the head. A little yes, a little no. And plant the palms and come all the way down to the knees. And back to our tabletop position. Inhale, reach up through the right arm, twist open towards the right, and then we'll thread the needle under the left wrist, come down onto the right ear. Inhale, lift up, twist open. Exhale, bring it down and under. Last time, inhale, lift up, reach up, sending the right ribs up, and exhale, dialing it down, and then we'll pause here for a few breaths. Either pressing down, straight down into that left palm, or sending it out long in front of you. Experimenting with what feels the best, the most juicy for you today. And letting the right shoulder drop. Take a few breaths here. Inhale, press yourself back up. Find your tabletop position, and we'll repeat on the other side. Inhale, lift up through the left arm. Exhale, dial it down under the right wrist, left ear to the mat. Inhale, lift up, twisting open. Exhale, thread the needle down and under. Last time, inhale, lift up, reach through the left ribs. Exhale, take it down and under. Pausing here for a few breaths. Again, find your most comfortable arm position for this side, which may be different from the other side. Depending on where you find the deepest stretch. Inhale, press back up to center. Take the elbows down to where the hands are. Melt the heart towards the ground, bringing the forehead down. Coming to puppy pose. Take a few breaths to allow every exhale to melt the heart down a little bit lower. Then walk yourself forward or shift yourself forward. Bring the hips all the way down through Sphinx pose. Then reach the arms out long in front of you. Come all the way onto the belly. Inhale, lift the right arm, the head, and the left leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift head, right leg, left arm. And exhale, lower. Repeat one more on each side. Inhale, right hand, left leg lifts. Exhale, down. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift both arms, both legs, and head. And pause here, pressing down into the hips, reaching forward and back. Sending energy out the fingertips, out the toes. Keep breathing, dipping the chin slightly. Keep that long neck feeling. With your next exhale, bring it all the way back down. Rest on one ear. Inhale, lift the hands and the legs, both lifting, 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 lifting. Exhale, bring it down, rest on the other ear, the opposite ear. And then bring the hands, slide them back. It's to about your shoulders. Inhale, lift up into a cobra. And we'll pause here. So find your comfortable cobra. Pressing down into the hands, but you can lift the hands up and still stay up. So we're working through strengthening through the back here. And bring the feet together, really together. Stay lifted here. Then slowly begin to take the feet out wider, lifting through the feet. And keep the feet lifted, the head lifted. Take the feet wide all the way to the corners of the mat. And then keeping the feet lifted up off the mat, slowly begin to draw them back together. Legs and feet coming back together. And then lower the feet, lower the head onto one side, or make a little pillow with your hands and bring the forehead down to center. And shimmy the hips a little side to side. And bring the hands back to the rib cage and press yourself all the way up to all fours. And make your way to seated. We'll come to an easy seated pose for just a moment. And then finding our eagle arms. So we'll wrap the right arm to nestle on top of the left elbow, and then either bring the hands to each shoulder or begin to wrap the hands around to grasp the palms together. As you inhale, lift up through the elbows and look up slightly, a little baby back bend here. Exhale, bring the elbows into the navel, rounding through the spine. 2 more times with your breath. Inhale, lifting, reaching the elbows high. Exhale, rounding, drawing your energy into a little ball. 1 more with your breath. Bring it up to center as you're ready. And unwind. And roll it out, shake it out. And begin to come to the other side. Nestling the left elbow inside the right elbow. And maybe this side feels a little different. Mine certainly does. So you can pause here to grasp opposite shoulders, or wrap the palms around to touch, or even just pressing the backs of the hands together at any of these bus stop points to find the best shoulder stretch for you today on this side. And use your breath again. Inhale, lifting up through the elbows. Exhale, tucking the elbows to the navel. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, hugging everything into center. 1 more time with your breath. And bring it back to center. Unwind. Unroll it, shimmy it out. And I'll bring my feet back to face the short edge. We'll bend through the knees. Bringing the hands to the backs of the thighs to help pull the heart forward. and draw the shoulder blades together like you're going to pinch a pencil between your shoulder blades. Engage through center and begin to tip back, keeping that long back feeling, ears still in line over the shoulders, and pick the feet up into our boat pose. Take a breath here, maybe reaching the feet out long or the fingers out long without compromising the big V you're making with your back. And bring the feet down and round over the knees. Bring the head back up, reach forward, and slowly begin to lower all the way down onto the back. Take a moment to land here. Then lift the feet up towards the sky, pressing up through the feet, actively feeling the quads. The kneecaps are lifting down towards your hips. Then bring the hands up under your sacrum. I'll really give you a little padding here. Press the low back down, so we're going to actively engage through the abs. And play with a little hip lifts. So we'll reach up through the heels and just lift the hips a little, like a little bouncing. Yeah. And then lift and lower. A couple more times using your core engagement. So this is really coming from the abs to lift up and reach the heels up. And find a little playfulness here. Lifting and lowering a couple more times. And then remove the hands, hug the knees in, and then rock a little side to side. Give yourself a massage into the low back, into the hips. Let it roll, let your head roll along with you side to side. Come back to center. Bring the feet down, knees right in line with the hips. We'll go through some bridge variation flows. So first we'll start by pulling the feet to touch and the knees to touch. Resting the hands comfortably at the side, nestling the shoulder blades together. You can press the palms down or leave them palms up. As you inhale, lift up through the hips, reach them up for the sky, maybe pulling the shoulder blades together a little bit more. Exhale, lower from the top of the spine all the way down to the bottom. One more time from here. Inhale, lifting up through the hips, tucking the chin into the chest. Exhale, lower from the collarbones down to the hips. Then bring the feet out so that the knees are right in line with the hips. Maybe 2 fists apart, approximately. We'll do the same thing here. Inhale, lift up through the hips. Snuggle the shoulder blades together. Lift the chest towards the sky and the chin to the chest. Exhale, lower from the crown to the tail. Inhale, lift up. Press up, pressing into the heels. Exhale, lower. Next time we'll take the feet out wide to left and right side of the mat. As you're ready, inhale, lift up through the hips. Press down into the heels. Exhale, lowering from the top to the bottom. Inhale, rolling it up, lifting up through the hips. Exhale, rolling it all the way down. And take a breath here. couple of breaths. And slowly begin to let the knees fall towards center, keeping the feet out wide. Take a few breaths in this constructive rest pose. Counter pose for our little bridge back bends. And walk the feet back together. Hug the right knee into the chest and send the left leg out long, straight in front of you. Then guide the right knee over towards the left. And keep the left hand on the knee and reach the right arm out wide to a T, and maybe look over towards the right. Let the left leg just rest down comfortably on the ground, coming into just supine twist, just resting, gently twisting. Beginning to slow down through the breathing, through the breath, relaxing through the body. Releasing any tension that's building or that did build. Beginning to let the glutes go. Roll back to center. Hug the left knee in. And send the right foot out, just comfortably resting long down on the mat. Let it come all the way down. Right foot just flops open. And then guide the left knee over towards the right. Coming into our twist on the other side. Left hand opens up. Left shoulder falls down towards the mat, letting gravity take over. Maybe looking over towards the left or keep the head at center. Take a few breaths on this side. Again, beginning to notice places that are gripping or pulling. And find areas that you can allow to unfurl. Glide the knee back to center, lift the hips, realign through the spine, and then rest both legs out long, or take any last movements you need here. You need to stretch, or rotate, or twist, or pull, whatever you need here. Any rocking side to side, or pull into a happy baby for a breath, and find what you need. Once you feel satisfied, let the feet rest long, legs flopping down, shoulder blades nestling comfortably, palms open gently. And bring your focus to your breath. Drawing in energy with every inhale. And sending out anything that you no longer need today. letting the body begin to soften. Feel the earth rise up to meet you and support you, surrounding you with a grounding energy. Bring your attention to the space around your heart. See if you can tap into a little inner smile. Think of something joyful. As you take a few more moments here to breathe and rest, focus on that which brings you joy. And gently begin to deepen the breath. Bringing small movements back to the fingers and the toes. Slowly beginning to bring the knees up and then roll over onto one side. And take a couple of breaths. As you're ready, press yourself up into seated. Take a moment to notice how you feel.